For those who don't know me, my name is Alex and I've been a software engineer for about 4 years now. I've had experience in full stack and front end roles, but recently I've been kind of transitioning of more the front end part of engineering, simply because I like working with the client, I like dealing with UI, UX, and I have more experience with relevant technologies such as JavaScript, Node, React, and some of the other front end frameworks. I wanted to make this video because I recently quit my full-time job at Ruggable, which is an e-commerce rug company. And here are some of the reasons why I decided to quit the job. So I guess first and foremost, I think this might be an obvious one. I decided to quit because they gave me a really competitive competing offer. I actually tried to get Ruggable to counter offer, but the competing offer was simply too high. And Ruggable right now has been going through kind of a stumble because of inflation and because people are holding back on buying expensive things. I thought it was just best for me to just make the jump and to, I guess, try something new. Now I can go into how much I make in detail in another video, even though I'm kind of like uncomfortable disclosing my salary, but I can tell you that it was about 1.5 times the salary at Ruggable. And so for me, it was pretty significant. So sometimes you just have to take the leap and say yes because it's such a significant jump. Another reason why I decided to switch companies was more of a technical reason. I felt at Ruggable, I kind of didn't learn as much as my other jobs. So Ruggable is still a Shopify-based store. And so a lot of the complicated engineering stuff is mostly ran through Shopify. If you think about like CDNs and like how to best serve the user, all of that is abstracted from Shopify and it just loads Ruggable's page. So Shopify also takes care of auth and user profile stuff, which again is like the hard, meaty stuff of software engineering. And although it's great as a business to just rely on one service to provide everything for you, as an engineer, it's not as satisfying because you don't really get to solve super hard problems. And what I was doing mostly at Ruggable was a lot of creating new landing pages for new products that we're launching, just maintaining the website, making sure there's no bugs, and just doing some stuff with like email and upsells, things along those lines. Another reason why I decided to switch jobs was because of the fact that I got a promotion in terms of title. So this startup I'm going to be joining, my title is Senior Software Engineer, whereas Ruggable, it was just a regular, mid-level software engineer. And I felt like I deserved Senior Software Engineer, but for some reason at Ruggable, instead of just promoting their internal hires, they would just hire upwards, and I thought that was a little weird. Even though I don't like comparing myself to other software engineers, I felt like the skill level between a senior software engineer and a software engineer was super minimal, and in some cases I felt like I was probably even better than the senior software engineer. So I think that kind of like pushed me over the limit, voiced my opinion that I felt like I deserve senior software engineer, and I voiced it for a little bit. Ruggable would just tell me you just need to wait longer to get that promotion, but sometimes another opportunity comes up. So these are some of the reasons why I decided to make the switch, but let me go the other way and tell you why I will miss Ruggable. One thing I will for sure miss about Ruggable is their company culture. In every single meeting at Ruggable, I was constantly telling people that the culture at Ruggable is like the best culture I've ever seen. It's unlimited vacations. People take vacations left and right, which is really good. And the work-life balance there is literally the best I've ever seen. Most engineers work before stand-up, which is like 9:30. They leave at 5, and there's not really too much of a push to really push something out and get it done before the sprint. A lot of times PMs will just push it to another sprint. Not only that, the engineering manager, he was a sweetheart to the engineering team, and I really appreciated that. As a software engineer, you always felt supported, and he definitely knew his stuff and pushed people to try new things. Another thing I'll miss is kind of the vision of Ruggable. I'm not going to go into numbers, but Ruggable is doing really well as a company. They're going places, and I don't want to get into murky water, so I'm not going to talk about things. But one thing I'm going to miss is the stock options. I did reach my 1-year cliff in a couple months after that, but I think there were stock options up to 4 years. And so I'm definitely going to miss out on a big chunk of that. I think Ruggable is so uniquely positioned, and they have a physical product, which is a huge barrier of entry. So I do think the stock will go up and pay a pretty fat multiplier down the line. Lastly, the thing I'm gonna miss most is the people that I worked with. Again, like I said, the culture was amazing because of the people. The software engineers were all super helpful. Some of the engineers would come to me for help. I'd go to like the senior software engineers for help. It was like a family there, and even though I wasn't there for long and I worked in a kind of a remote era where like company culture isn't really that strong to begin with, the people there were all super chill, always eager to learn, and specifically no one really had like a huge ego, which is so greatly appreciated in the engineering field. I think I definitely made a couple of friends throughout the process. I have a couple of numbers, I follow a couple on Instagram, and I'm definitely gonna miss their presence. That being said though, business is business and people have to keep moving on and upwards with their life. And so even though I'm gonna miss them, it's not something holding me back from this new company. So that is why I quit Ruggable. I am going into a completely new industry, a new company, a new startup, and I'm pretty excited about where that will take me. The technical challenges will be a lot higher, primarily is the reason why I wanted to go in the first place. I just want to better myself and become the best software engineer I can be, and I just kind of felt like I was stagnating for a little bit. If you want to learn anything more about this new company I'm with, I'm actually gonna go to New York in a couple of weeks to visit their headquarters, so I might vlog that. Please leave a thumbs up if you lasted this long. If you have any questions or comments, please leave it in the comments below. Thank you for sticking along with this journey. More real estate content to come in the next coming weeks. I appreciate it. Have a good one. Bye.